Hi, I'm Lizzie. Welcome to my Pilates for spine health. Be mindful of any movements if you're holding any injuries and just make those movements as big or as small as feels good for you. So we're going to start lying down. So lying back on your mat, we're going to have our knees in line with our hips, arms rested down by the side of your body. Just walk your fingertips down towards your toes, the shoulders are nice and down and relaxed. And then just give a little tuck of the chin to get some length down the back of your neck. You should have a small gap underneath your lower back and the mat, so in neutral spine position. We're going to start by taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to bring our arms up and round the outside, keeping the shoulders down, keeping the back still, and then inhale, bringing the arms back by your side. So palms are facing upwards. Exhale, you're using the core to draw the ribs down, keeping the shoulders down, and you should feel a nice stretch into the shoulders as you're doing this. So this is just opening up into the upper back. Try and keep the arms straight, really stretching into the fingers as you bring them around the outside, and keep the shoulders down and the neck long. So as you bring your arm up, you're feeling a stretch down the side, so into the lats, side of the shoulders, into the upper back. So don't worry about how far the arms move. It's just about keeping the arms straight, stretching into the fingertips, keeping everything else still, and just feeling a stretch into the side of the upper back. So we just do it one more time. So exhale, drawing the rib cage down and stretching, opening up the upper back. Inhale as you bring the arms back down. On your next exhale, we're going to take our right arm up over the top of the head and turn our head to the left. Inhale, changing sides. Exhale, turning the head to the left as you look over your right shoulder. Inhale, changing sides. And exhale to change back. So what we're doing here is we're just gently turning our head from side to side. So this is warming up the top of your spine, getting rotation into the cervical vertebrae that are in the neck. By adding in the arm movements, this is just opening up, warming up the shoulders, which really helps their mobility into our upper back. One more time each side. Just breathing through the movement and then coming all the way back to centre. Now bring your arms this time, or actually keep them on the mat by the side of you, and we're going to go into our shoulder bridge. So nice deep breath in. As you exhale, belly button to spine, tuck the tailbone under, so your lower back then just flattens down towards the mat. And then we're going to start to lift our spine, one vertebrae at a time, until you come all the way up onto your shoulders, into your nice high lifted shoulder bridge. Deep breath in here, then exhale, belly button spine, ribs tuck under, and we slowly come back down. One vertebrae at a time, pressing back into the mat until you come all the way back into neutral spine. So exhale, belly button pulls in, tailbone tucks under, so you're squeezing your bottom, scooping in your abdominals, and then lifting gently away from the floor. One vertebrae at a time, just come up however high is comfortable for you, so any discomfort in the back, don't come up as high. We're in a plank position at the top, ribs tucked in, deep breath in here, exhale, you draw the belly button in a bit more, tuck the ribs under, and slowly unroll that spine back into the mat. One vertebrae at a time until you come back into your neutral spine position. Breathing in, exhale, off we go again. So this is working on the movement of the spine now in a forwards-backwards motion. As you come up into your shoulder bridge, you're also opening up the front of your body, getting a nice stretch for the neck, coming back down on the exhale, keeping the core engaged through that whole movement so it's supporting the spine. I'm going to add some arm movements this time. So coming up on the exhale, just however high is comfortable for you, getting that movement through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. At the top, inhale, float the arms over your head, and then exhale, coming back down, tucking under and unrolling. So this is harder to get your spine down on the mat with the arms over your head, but what you get is a lovely then stretch and lengthening of the spine. Inhale, floating the arms back down. So trying that again, rolling up through the spine on the exhale, core engaged, and moving your arms on the inhale, Keep the shoulders down. If you find this too hard, you can lift your arms slightly as you come back down. That's absolutely fine. So you work in your own range of movement, and then bringing the arms back down on the inhale when you're in neutral. So one more time, working on the exhale, floating those arms on the inhale, and then working really hard as you come back down. Let every vertebrae have its turn. Stretch, lengthening the spine, opening up through the body, and then inhale, floating the arms back down. Now bring your arms out a little bit wider now onto the floor, backs of the hands onto the floor, palms up to the ceiling. Just relax those shoulders into the mat. The shoulders should be lovely and open and relaxed. Bring your knees together, bring your feet together. Lift up your heels so you're balanced on your toes, and we're going into our hip rolls. So inhale, your knees go one way, you turn your head to the other way. Exhale, belly button to the spine as you draw those knees back to centre. Inhale, we change sides. Knees go one way, head turns the other way, and exhale back to centre. Inhale, changing sides, so keeping that going. So all we're doing is we're gently rocking our knees from side to side. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're getting rotation through the middle part of your spine. So we're now rotating through our thoracic vertebrae. And that's really good for flexibility. We're keeping the toes on the floor to support the back. And we're not forcing the knees down to the floor. You're just rocking them gently from side to side to get that mobility and loosening up into the spine. By turning the head from side to side, again, you're getting the neck mobility, loosening up the cervical vertebrae at the top of the spine, shoulders staying glued into the mat. So you get a nice stretch as well through the side of the body. So think about lengthening through the waist, you're stretching the spine, opening up the vertebrae as you're gently moving those knees from side to side. Just making that movement as big or as small as feels good for you, flowing through the movements. It's a nice continuous motion, working with the breath. Breathing in to open up on the inhale, using your obliques on the exhale to work through your centre. One more time, each side. And then when your knees come to the front of the mat, we're going to leave them there and we're going to roll onto our side. So we're going to keep the knees stacked, one on top of each other. Your hips are stacked and your feet tucked in, sort of in line with your tailbone. You're resting on your shoulder. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can bend your arm or rest the cushion underneath your head. So we're going to do helicopters. This is for mobility for the upper back. So inhale, I want you to reach that top arm forward. So we're going to start to draw a rainbow over the top of our head. So your head is turning with the hand. As the hand goes behind you, you exhale. Your head is looking at the hand, so you're opening up into a lovely T shape. And then bringing the arm all the way round and back to your starting point. So inhale, reach the arm away. Start to draw that circle up over the top of the head. You're reaching, you're trying to stretch and lengthen. Exhale as that arm turns behind you. This is where you're getting that rotation through the spine and rolling all the way back to centre. So what we're doing here is this is a dynamic stretch for the shoulders, for the upper back, for the spine. So each time you might notice that you can just get that hand a little bit further round. You're trying to keep the hands as close to the floor as you can. Don't worry, the hand comes off of the floor. Then you actually can use gravity to get an extra stretch for the shoulder and the upper back. So just keep it as close to the floor as you can. If you want to work a little bit harder, now bring your top leg down on the floor in front of your bottom leg. So inhale, you reach the arm up. Exhale as you turn behind you. Don't let that front knee lift. And what you'll get is an extra stretch now into the lower back. So into the side of your back here, and it's a little bit harder to keep that hand close to the floor. If that's too much for you, especially if you've got any lower back problems, go back to the first position. So one knee stacked on top of each other. So try not to drop the hips. Keep that nice neutral pelvis, neutral spine, and just working through that circle. We're going to do 2 more. So reaching the arm round, breathing through that movement, trying to feel that stretch, concentrate on lengthening, opening up the spine, trying to get that slightly bigger circle each time as you helicopter that arm around. And our last one, coming back to centre, the top arm, rest it on the mat in front of you, bring that leg back. And we're going to push ourselves up now into a mermaid side sit position. So traditional Pilates, mermaid side sits like this. If you've got knee problems, you can come to a seated fourth position. That's where you untuck that lower leg, bring the foot to the front knee. So you've got like a bit more of a square shape rather than that triangle position. Knee problems, rest a cushion under that front knee to give you a bit of support if you need to. So you're trying to keep the pelvis nice and level and rest your supporting hand on the floor behind you. This is really good for loosening up into the lumbar vertebrae for the base of our spine. So we're going to go side to side. So inhale, reach your top arm up. Exhale as you bend over to the side. If you want a stronger stretch, you can come down onto your elbow. You're pushing your hip away from you. So you're really stretching and lengthening through the top of the body. Pushing yourself back up. Try and use the core to lift rather than pushing through the shoulder. Holding onto the ankle, we're going to bend the other way. So exhale as you bend, belly button spine. Try and keep that elbow back so you're opening up through the side of the body. Inhale back to centre. Exhale as we bend into that side bend. Coming back up, using the core to lift, keeping that length. Exhale as you bend, keeping the elbow back. One more time like this each side, and then we're going to add on to our mermaid movement. Exhale as we bend. So this is loosening up the spine in the side-to-side motion. So this time, keep that supporting hand down on the floor. Deep breath in, we reach up. Or not exhale, belly button spine, we're going to rotate now. So we're facing the mat. So we're adding rotation to our side bend. So inhale, we open up. Exhale as you rotate. So you can see this movement isn't coming from the shoulder, it's coming from the whole of the torso. So you're getting that rotation into the spine. If you want to make it harder, we're going to add that twister. So we're posting the arm underneath the gap in your body. But you're getting this rotation from the spine, working into our thoracic vertebrae now in that side bend position. You can either keep the supporting arm straight or you can try bending the arm, see how that feels. You're going to get slightly different stretch and slightly different movement depending whether you've got a bent arm or a straight arm. So just do whichever feels best for you. Do you get a better stretch with a straight arm or with a bent arm? One more like this. And then we're going to leave both hands on the floor, so straight arms facing the mat. And we're going to do like a cat stretch and cow stretch. So deep breath in, shoulders down. As you exhale, I want you to round into the back. So you're pushing your bottom down to the floor, tilting your pelvis. And then on your inhale, we're tilting the pelvis the other way as you lift the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So exhale, belly button spine as you round. And inhale as you lift the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So you're working into the back, doing a cat stretch and a cow stretch, but in that side bend and rotation position. And this is trying to mimic how we move with the body. So we don't just move side to side, we don't just move forwards and back. Our spine moves in all different directions and we combine those movements together. So by doing this in a workout, it's more functional for your body. So we just do it one more time. And then release, coming back out of that position. We're going to try our mermaid's position on the other side. First we'll just stretch the legs out, give those knees a little wiggle just to release them. And then we're going to change our mermaid side sit position. So this is because when you're sitting in a mermaid side sit position, you've got one hip that's externally rotated and one hip that's internally rotated. So we have to balance that out. So either your traditional Pilates mermaid side sit, or if you prefer to make your pelvis a little bit more level, you can come into the seated fourth position with or without a cushion to support the knees. Supporting hand rested on the floor. Deep breath in, reach up, lengthen that waist, and then we bend over to the side. You can bend the elbow if you want that stronger position. You're pushing the hip down, pushing the ribs up to the ceiling to get that stretch. Lifting up with the core. Exhale, you bend the other way, the elbow back, so you're trying to open up through the side of the body, stretching away from the hip. Inhale back to centre. Again, just flowing that movement from side to side. So a nice flowing motion to get that mobility into the spine, stretching and lengthening through the movement. And one last time this way over your hips, and then we're going to add our rotation. So inhale, exhale as you rotate belly button to spine. This might be enough for you. So you're just bringing that hand down towards the floor, turning through the torso. So not moving the arm from the shoulder, moving the whole of the body. If you want that extra rotation, we're going to go for the twister this time. So you're posting the hand underneath the gap in the body. The head is following the hand. So you're getting the rotation through the cervical vertebrae in the neck at the same time. With a bent arm or a straight arm, try both. See which feels better for you. Do you like to bend and lower the shoulder closer to the floor? Or do you prefer to keep a straight arm and feel more that stretch into the middle part of the spine, whatever feels good for you? One more of these. Exhale as you post, the core supporting the back. Inhale, release the arm, both hands on the floor in front of you into our cat-cow. Deep breath in as you exhale, rounding the back. So you're tilting the pelvis, pushing away from you, bottom down into the mat. Inhale as you tilt your pelvis the other way, squeezing the shoulder blades together as you lift your chest and squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, pushing back, belly button to spine, rounding into the back. Inhale as you lift. So just working through that movement, feel the stretch as you're moving and work where it feels nice for you. So everyone will be a little bit different. It's not about what you look like, it's about what you're feeling. Keeping the shoulders down and the neck long. So don't let the shoulders lift, particularly when you come into that rounded position. Not lifting the shoulders and keeping them down. So just one more time. And then releasing, coming back. We're going to lower ourselves down now and do our helicopter on the other side. So both arms out in front of you, or if you need to bend that lower arm, you can, or rest a cushion under your head if that's more comfortable for you. Knees tucked up, nice straight line with your back. Keep the hips stacked, so don't let the hips rock. Don't let the knees slide. Inhale, reach that top arm forwards and draw that circle over the top of your head. Exhale, the arm goes behind you. Inhale as you come back to the front. Reaching the arm up and over. Remember, it's a stretch. You're lengthening through the body. Exhale as you turn behind you. That's when you're getting your rotation into your spine. So we're doing a dynamic stretch. Each time you're going a little bit further, making that movement a little bit bigger as you get mobility into the spine, opening up the shoulders. This is really good for preventing rounded shoulders, this exercise. So that's a good posture exercise. Now, if you want that stronger stretch, bring your front leg down onto the floor. This is going to add that extra stretch for your lower back and make it a little bit more challenging for that mobility into the upper back. Have you got one side that's better than the other? I find it much harder on this side, so I know I'm stiffer. So this side, I probably maybe need to do just one extra repetition, just to even myself out a little bit more. But this is a unilateral exercise, which means you're doing both sides. So eventually, over time, each side does even itself out to get that more balanced body. One more time. And then coming back to centre. So now we come over onto our front. And we're starting off in a shell stretch position. So sitting back on the knees. Again, if this is difficult for you, just put a cushion underneath your bottom to rest on. Reaching the arms forwards, deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to walk your hands over to the right. You're keeping your arms straight and you're getting a lovely stretch from the hip all the way through the ribs and into the back of the arm. So feel that stretch. Inhale, coming back to centre, keeping the arms straight. And exhale, walk the arms round to the left. On your exhale, core engaged to support the back. Inhale, coming back to centre. Exhale, walk your hands to the right, pushing into the left side of your body. As you do that, feel that stretch. Inhale, coming back to centre. Exhale to the left, pushing into the right side of your body, feeling that stretch, so a lateral stretch. Now, this is really good for mobility into the lumbar vertebrae. It also opens up into the rib cage area. You're trying to keep your shoulders parallel to the floor. And again, this is another dynamic stretch. So we're mobilising, and each time we're trying to get a little bit further round that circle. So one more time each side. Make sure you just pause briefly at the side to feel the stretch. So you're not going too fast and you're aiming to keep your arms straight. Coming back to centre. Then we're going to bring our arms out into a T shape. Just lift your bottom up slightly. Deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to drop your right shoulder and look up to the ceiling on the left side. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, go the other way. Drop your left shoulder, look up to the right. Inhale to centre. Exhale, you look up, dropping the shoulder down. Inhale to centre. Exhale to the left. So what we're doing now is we're getting rotation into the top of the spine, sort of between the shoulder blade area. So really good for posture, really good for your shoulders, this exercise, for preventing shoulder protraction. One more time each side. And then coming back to centre. Now I want you to lower yourself down onto your tummy. You're going to have our arms still out to the side. Turn your head to look at the camera. So if you're turning to look at the camera, the leg facing in front of the camera, you're going to lift up, point the toe, you're going to lift the hip, raise the knee and drop that toe down by the side of you without the chest lifting. Chest will lift slightly at the front, but we're not making an effort to roll onto the shoulder. So this is like a scorpion tail, but this is getting rotation a little bit lower down the spine. Inhale, coming back to centre, go the other way. So turn your head to the left. This gives your neck a lovely stretch as well. And then you bend your back knee, point the toe, lift the toe up, bring the knee up, and bring that toe down to the floor. You might get a nice stretch in the hips as well. But coming back to centre, changing sides. On the exhale, you rotate into that scorpion tail, lifting the knee. Inhale to centre, change sides. Bend the knee into your scorpion tail. As you exhale, inhale to centre. One more time each side. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor, but try and keep the knee above your foot. So you don't have to go all the way, you can just lift the knee, that's fine, but try and get that knee higher than the foot. Coming back to centre. Now bring the hands in, legs in line with your hips. If you've got any lower back problems, bring your legs a little bit wider. We're going to do the swan exercise. This is really good for upper back extension, really good for posture. So arms out on a diagonal through the corners of your mat, palms on the floor. Starting nice and easy, so arms quite wide and quite far forwards. You're looking down at your mat, shoulders back and down. Imagine your nose is rested on top of a tennis ball. So inhale, push that tennis ball forwards with your nose. Push your chest forwards now, through the middle towards your hands. Push the shoulders down, and then straighten your arms so you can push forwards and up a little bit more. As you exhale, suck your tummy in, squeeze your bottom, bend your elbows, and then slowly lower back down. One rib at a time with control. Bring your nose back on your tennis ball. Now, if that was easy for you, you can bend your arms a little bit more, bring them a bit closer towards you. This is going to make it harder. Inhale, push the ball forwards with your nose. Push your chest forwards, push the shoulders down. Straighten your arms, pushing forwards and up. You should feel a lovely stretch into the rib cage area, thoracic vertebrae. As you exhale, squeeze your bottom, suck your tummy in, lower your elbows, and then lower one rib at a time back onto your mat. If you want to make it harder still, bring your hands to even closer in towards you. Keep your elbows tucked in, not out to the side. Inhale, forwards and up, chest forward, shoulders down. Then you straighten the arms. If it's too much to straighten the arms, keep them bent. You don't have to come all the way up. You shouldn't feel this in your lower back. So if you feel it in your lower back, squeeze your bottom more, suck your tummy in more, and move those hands further away from you to avoid overarching your lumbar vertebrae. This is about stretching the thoracic vertebrae forwards and up. We're going to add on this time. So stay at the top. On your exhale, we're going to turn our head to look over our right shoulder as far as you can. Come back to centre on the inhale, turn your head and look over your left shoulder on your exhale. Inhale back to centre. Let's do that again. Keep the shoulders down, keep pushing forwards and up. You're turning to look over your shoulder as far as you can. So this is for neck mobility. We're adding on. You also get a nice stretch into the lower back. One more time each side with the neck turn. If you don't like this bit, just stay with the basic exercise. I find it loosens up more vertebrae in the back. I suddenly get a lovely release. And then coming back to centre, deep breath in, shoulders down, push forwards, get that stretch. Exhale, squeeze the bottom, suck the tummy in, lower those elbows. Lower down one rib at a time, try and push forwards. As you're still coming down, keep your shoulders relaxed. Tuck your head in, bring your hands now under your shoulders.
Lift yourself up back into a shell stretch. Just turn the hands over now. This will get a lovely stretch more into the upper back. And then coming up onto all fours, we're going to do the cat and the dog tilt, just normal all four position. So nice and neutral spine, deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the bottom, scoop your tummy in and brown that back up to the ceiling, letting the head come between the arms. Notice how the back feels. Inhale back into a neutral position, and then we go into that cow stretch. Shoulders down, arch your back down towards the mat, chest lifted. Shoulder blades together. Inhale to neutral, exhale into your cat stretch. Inhale to neutral, exhale into cow. One more time each way. And then just go gently side to side. So just noticing how the back feels now, whether it feels loose, that should feel good. And just noticing if there's any pockets of tightness, you can combine those moves together, so a bit of an arch as you push to the side. And then you can drop the spine down as you move to the side. You're just noticing if there's any tightness there, loosening it up. And then sit yourself back on your heels, walk your hands towards you, give a few shoulder rolls. And that's the end of our workout. Hopefully your back feels really good now. And do try the workout again. And leave some comments, share, give me a thumbs up, and try some live videos. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you.